Yo, welcome to this season of I Think. And I wrote this down. It was a very specific download. Taurus season asked you to acquire the audacity to step into who you are and get really clear about what you want so you can now optimize your thoughts. Because, as we know, the first Hermetic principle is all is mental, and Gemini is I think. So, you ready? What's up? It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general astrological reading for Gemini season 2024. Now, I'm gonna shuffle just because it helps me think better, but I'm not necessarily pulling cards in this reading. This is just a video about the important astrological transits and the dates of them so that you can just be on game. So as of May 20th, Gemini gets the sun, baby. And I feel like we're learning how to expand our lives via our thoughts and our mental processes. And Aries Aries asked you, who are you and what are you ready to do about it? And Taurus is like, okay, now that you know who you are, what are you trying to get? How you moving out here? Are we going and getting it, or are you sitting around doing nothing? And depending on how you showed up, depending on how you answer that question is going to dictate the thoughts that you think. You know, Gemini season is about understanding how powerful your mind is. And I hope that at this point you understand how powerful your thoughts are. Because when you get more masterful in the mind, you'll be more masterful with your thoughts and therefore more masterful with your words. And words are spells. Even the Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. And so there is something really, really important about like checking in with like, do I even believe this anymore? Is this even like my stance anymore on this? Now, on May 23rd, we have the full moon in Sagittarius, which is the opposite of Gemini. Gemini is I think, Sagittarius is I understand. And full moons are periods of release. So we're releasing old understandings. It's giving kind of you think you know, but you have no idea. And it's just like, can we please replace these old outdated understandings and update the mind, update our mental processes, update what we know about ourselves to be true and what we emotionally feel like is the truth, or what we say about ourselves, what we think about ourselves. Hydrate, light it if you got it. Oh, I'm out of water. Oh my God. Anyway, that same day, on May 23rd, Venus goes into Gemini, and Venus, love, art, money, beauty. The function of Venus, though, is attraction, and she's going to be attracting in mental stimulation, attracting in play and fun. I feel like things are going to get way more social. Things are going to be way more flirty, way more collaborative. There's just like, I just saw 303. That's confirmation. I feel like that's why we got to get clear what we are thinking so that our actions can follow suit, and your actions are the blueprint that you're giving to the universe for what it is that you want. On May 24th, Jupiter in Taurus semi-sextiles the North Node in Aries. And the North Node, Jupiter, luck, fortune, expansion, philosophy, travel, belief. Sextiles are like positive outcomes by way of challenge. The North Node, and the North Node is your mission here, like what we're supposed to be accomplishing in this lifetime. And with the North Node being in Aries, it's like, you know who you are, right? You got that strong foundation in who you are, right? Now, are you going to believe that you're moving forward? Are you going to believe that you're moving towards accomplishing this thing or not? I feel like consistency brings luck, and challenges And the challenges that come in get you way closer to your destiny, get you way closer to like feeling like, fuck, okay, I am on my way. We are doing this. I am, gonna accomplish my mission. I am gonna be able to have a purpose-driven life. And so whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. On May 25th, Jupiter goes into Gemini, and I feel like luck comes to us by way of being open-minded. Luck comes to us by way of welcoming in a fresh mindset. Luck comes in by way of interacting with other people, communicating. I feel like there's going to be some really amazing ideas that come in, and they can take you to take you towards some really like lucky feeling experiences. So lots of happy accidents. Luck coming by way of interacting with siblings, family, your neighborhood, getting involved in your neighborhood, getting involved in your community. And by being playful and letting your mind wander. I feel like that's the thing, is like we're always so like purpose driven and activity or action driven that we can lose sight of the magic that can come in mindlessness, in just letting your mind wander where it wants to wander. Now on June 3rd, Mercury enters Gemini. So we're working up to that Gemini stellium, where all these planets, like the cosmic collision happening. And I don't mean like the cosmic soup, we'll say. Collision feels strong. The cosmic soup is being seasoned by Gemini. And Mercury is the planet of the mind. Gemini is a sign of I think. Mercury rules Gemini, so Mercury is going into rulership. And Mercury in Gemini, I feel like we're going to be feeling way more curious, like the child. A lot is being revealed to us. I feel like also you're going to be able to see, like you're going to be able to peep game. This almost feels like you finally understanding why you experienced those red flags that you did. Now you're going to be able to see clearly. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. Oh, because yeah, it's just like I experienced this betrayal or this shady behavior, and now because I experienced it, I know what to look for. And because I know what to look for and I said no to the bullshit, because I'm standing 10 toes down on my worth, prosperity, abundance, creativity is growing. Your connection to Mother Earth, your connection to your surroundings is definitely leveling up. There's some positive abundance coming in. Because keep in mind, abundance just means a lot of something. So you can have an abundance of bullshit in your life. So you need to get specific about what you want an abundance of. And getting specific doesn't mean like, oh, dear God, give me an abundance of hundreds. It's like, if you want an abundance of hundreds, but you're telling yourself you're too tired to work the overtime, there's a disconnect there. So let that resonate however it resonates. On June 9th, Mars goes into Taurus. Mars, the god of war. Mars, drive, ambition, the way that you take up space, the way that you express your physical, spiritual, and sexual energy is going into the sign of I have. And I feel like there's just another like boost of fire, or another invitation to get here. Regardless of your genitalia, the Empress is a vibe. The Empress is the creative state embodied. And it just feels like it's time to get creative with your desires. It's time to get creative about the work that you do. Stop doing shit that you hate for a check. But if you're building a business, and if you are some variation of an entrepreneur, wherever like you are in the process, keep in mind a lot of people do work that they dislike for a check while they're building something. So wherever you are in that process, if you are trying to be an entrepreneur, then you know, you're just really gonna have to check yourself before you wreck yourself. For those of you who already are entrepreneurs, I do feel like there is a season of like feast, not famine. And I feel like those of you who've been putting in the hard work reap a fucking reward. And Mars is driving you to acquire, to have more. And don't let that push you towards being superficial or materialistic. Let it drive you towards gratitude for what you have, but also this perseverance to get where you want to be. You just got to get, we all got to get real clear on what it is that we want. And then lastly, we have on June 17th, Venus goes into Cancer, and we gonna want all the ooey gooey. And then Mercury goes into Cancer, and it's like this mind heart meld. I feel like the heart and the mind finally start to, like, you are going to be like your words and your thoughts being colored by your emotions. I feel like you and everyone around you starts to get way more expressive, or way more closed off, whichever side of the spectrum, you know, that you fall on. And you got to get clear. If you're dealing with somebody who like is really, really shutting down and your needs aren't being met, and that's consistently, and you've been wishing for more, 11:11 on the clock, you need to get busy. And that's how you show people what you're worth. If you tolerate a bunch of bullshit, people gonna keep giving you bullshit. But if you're like, I don't care how much I like you, I don't care what you got going on, I will walk the fuck away because I know my worth, I know my value. And that's, I feel like, a big lesson that Taurus season was trying to give us. And in Gemini season, you're going to be processing all that awareness, all of that like understanding of your value. And I feel like also understanding how your actions display your value to other people is a big thing. You staying in toxic relationships or friendships, or staying at, you know, a shitty professional environment tells people that you're okay with that, as opposed to, oh nope, this is off brand for me, sorry, I'm a head up, you know. Like, no, that's one way that you really display your value to people, is by way of like standing 10 toes down on your shit. This is not something I'm going to tolerate. And you don't need to reiterate that to anybody. You just walk away. You don't need to verbalize your worth to anybody. You just keep it moving. You know the motto. Don't be a groupie. Keep it motherfucking moving. I love you. You got this.